longest living people in Japan don't spend their lives trying to become independent. They spend their lives making sure they never become alone. A small village in Okinawa once puzzled researchers studying longevity. The people there were living longer than almost anyone else on Earth. Many stayed active into their 90s. Some were still gardening, cooking, walking to the market, and laughing with friends well past 100. Researchers expected to find a miracle food or a perfect exercise routine. Instead, they found something much less dramatic. A group of neighbors sitting together almost every afternoon. Some had known each other since childhood. Some pooled small amounts of money together every month. They checked on each other when someone was sick. They celebrated birthdays, attended funerals, shared vegetables from their gardens, and noticed when somebody had been unusually quiet for a few days. These groups had a name, Moai. Moai began centuries ago in Okinawa as a practical arrangement. Villagers created small circles of trusted people who would support one another financially during difficult times. A bad harvest, an illness, an unexpected expense, nobody had to carry the burden alone. But over time, something interesting happened. The money mattered less than the people. The financial safety net slowly became an emotional one. Today, many Okinawans still belong to a moai that lasts decades, sometimes an entire lifetime. This is moai. At first glance, moai looks like friendship, but friendship and moai are not quite the same thing. Modern friendship often happens around convenience and shared interests. We meet people at work, at school, at the gym, online. Life changes and the connection quietly fades. Nobody intended for it to disappear. It simply wasn't built to survive distance, busyness, and time. Moai is designed differently. A moai is not based on mood or availability. It is based on commitment. You belong to the group, and the group belongs to you. There is an expectation that you will show up for each other, not only during celebrations, but during ordinary Tuesdays and difficult winters. Not because anyone keeps score, but because mutual support is part of the structure itself. Many Western societies celebrate self-sufficiency as a kind of ideal adulthood. The successful person is the one who needs nothing from anyone. Moai quietly suggests a different possibility. Maybe strength is not measured by how little support you require. Maybe strength is measured by how much support exists around you when life inevitably becomes heavy. Modern psychology increasingly agrees. Researchers studying longevity consistently find that strong social relationships predict longer life more reliably than many health interventions people obsess over. Chronic loneliness affects stress hormones, sleep quality, immune function, and even cardiovascular health. Human beings appear to age differently when they feel connected. The Japanese did not invent this biological reality. They simply built traditions around remembering it. The difficult part is that most of us no longer live in villages. We live in apartments beside strangers whose names we don't know. We move cities for work. We maintain hundreds of digital connections while struggling to think of 3 people we could call during an emergency. This is where moai becomes less of a Japanese tradition and more of a modern survival skill. Applying moai today does not require moving to Okinawa or recreating village life. It starts with changing how we think about relationships. Most adults approach friendship passively. If schedules align, we meet. If life becomes busy, we disappear for 6 months and call it normal. Moai asks for something slightly more intentional. Imagine choosing 3 or 4 people and deciding that your relationship deserves structure instead of luck. Maybe you meet for breakfast once every month, regardless of how busy everyone becomes. Maybe Sunday evenings become a standing phone call. Maybe the rule is simple. If somebody goes quiet for too long, someone checks in. Not because there's a problem, because that is what the group exists to do. The modern world has become very efficient at helping us order food, schedule deliveries, and automate tasks. It has become surprisingly inefficient at helping us belong somewhere. Moai fills that gap. It changes the question from who do I spend time with to who am I building a life alongside? The difference is subtle but enormous. A moai also changes the way we experience success. Many people reach milestones only to discover that achievement feels strangely quiet when experienced alone. Promotions, new houses, completed projects, personal goals, they arrive and then quickly become normal. Shared joy lasts longer than private accomplishment. The Okinawan elders understood this instinctively. Their victories belonged to the group. So did their struggles. There is another lesson hidden inside moai that matters even more in the age of productivity. You do not need to earn your place through performance. Modern life often turns relationships into transactions. We stay connected to useful people. We network. We optimize social circles. We ask what value someone brings. Moai asks a simpler question. Who would still sit beside you if you had nothing impressive to report this year? And whose table would you still return to if they had nothing to offer except their company? Those relationships are not distractions from a meaningful life. They are the infrastructure that allows a meaningful life to exist in the first place. Perhaps this is why so many centenarians in Okinawa answer questions about longevity in ways that frustrate journalists. They rarely talk about biohacking. They rarely mention life hacks. They talk about neighbors. They talk about weekly gatherings. They talk about people waiting for them tomorrow. There is something deeply human about having somewhere you are expected to be and someone who notices when you are missing. The future will probably become faster, more digital, and more efficient than the world we know today. That may make Moai more important, not less. Because in a world where almost everything can be automated, being genuinely connected to other human beings may become one of the few things that cannot. And perhaps one of the quietest secrets of a long life is not asking how many years we can add to our lives. It is asking how many people are walking beside us while we live them. If you had to build your own modern Moai, who would be in it? Share your answer in the comments. And if ideas from Japan help you live a little better each day, subscribe to Better Everyday 1976 for more stories worth carrying into modern life.